Hello there everyone, nubkeks here. Welcome back to Nub Raids. We are on the test server. It's closing down in like a couple of hours. This is the final video we're gonna get to record on the test server. I wasn't initially thinking of doing a video on this guy, but I said, you know what? Like, I'm probably, let's be real, he's a Void Legendary. I'm probably never going to get this champion again. So, might as well do a video on him now. Why not? So let's dive in. The reason that I wasn't super keen on doing a video on him is that I've heard such mixed things about this champion. I think it's going to be so hard to see how good he is. So let's take a look at his skills, because he has probably the craziest skill set in the game. His A1, Gnarled Scythe, attacks one enemy and steals all buffs from the target the first time the champion hits them with this skill. And it cannot be resisted. This is insanely good. Each subsequent time this attack hits an enemy, no buffs will be stolen. Instead, the damage will be increased by 10% for each buff on the target. This is an amazing A1. The first effect is particularly good. Just steals all their buffs and they cannot stop it. How good is that? A2, Pierce the Carapace, 3-turn cooldown when booked, attacks one enemy, ignores Strengthen, Stone Skin, Increased Defense, and Ally Protection buffs. If this attack kills an enemy, fully heals this champion and places Stone Skin on them for 1 turn. Again, just absolute bananas. Ignores so many of the most powerful defensive buffs in the game. And if he kills someone, it gives him Stone Skin, basically makes him unkillable, undebuffable, almost for like a turn. That is so strong. A3, Chill Wind of Autumn, 3-turn cooldown when booked. So I like he's got 2 nice 3-turn cooldowns, nice short cooldowns. Attacks all enemies. Before attacking, removes any increased defensive buffs on each target and replaces them with decreased defense. Removes strengthen buffs and replaces them with 25% weaken debuffs. Places block buffs for 1 turn then on enemies who do not have increased defense or strengthen before attacking, and the buff removal and debuff placement cannot be resisted. So he's got a 3-turn AoE. It turns increased defense and strengthen into their opposites. It's going to make all your damage hit so much harder. Block buffs if they don't have any of these buffs, and he can't be resisted. None of this? Nuts. And then his passive Force of Nature increases his HP by 2,000 and defense by 100 for every 1,000 attack they have, and fills his turn meter by 10% whenever they receive a buff. So number 1, it's going to make him tankier just by building him with damage. That's great. Number 2, the turn meter fill, I think, is actually super underrated. This is so strong, so good. I think particularly if he counterattacks and steals buffs, it should basically just fill up his turn meter, which is really fun as well. I think this passive, the turn meter boost, has been pretty underrated. So yeah, and then 25% crit rate in battles. So I'm sure we're looking at this and going, this champion seems like the most overpowered champion they've ever released. This is crazy. So why am I a bit trepidatious about this champion? Well, let me tell you, I've seen some testing from him. I've seen damage tests from like Hell Hades. And guess what? This is the problem. This champion simply doesn't hit that hard. He's got okay damage, but it's not that good. And that's a big problem. That's big problem number 1. There's big problem number 2. We're going to talk about that. Anyway, let me show you how I built him up. So what I've done, I put him in Lethal and Cruel. I think this is basically your best potential sets. Ignoring 25 plus 30% defense, bonus crit rate, bonus attack. Super good. And yeah, we are limited, unfortunately, with accessories, so we're not like at full potential. I do have an attack ring. It's only blue, 5 stars, so this could be much higher. I unfortunately don't have a crit damage necklace. We have an attack necklace. It gives them a bit of defensive stats. It's not the worst, but if this was crit damage, it would be better. And then I do have an attack banner, although again, without we're 2 rolls in flat defense. You know, the faction only came out. We don't have reaction accessories, which does suck, or revenge accessories for the counterattack. I think would be very strong in him as well. I probably prioritize reaction. But you can see the total stats I built him with: 7,000 attack. He has a bit of defense and stuff like that. Now this is going to scale up. He's going to get more HP and defense because of this attack. In fact, we can calculate it right here. If he has 7, he's going to get 14,000 more health, and he's going to get 700 more defense. So he's actually going to be like 50k and about 3k. He's going to be reasonably tanky, to be honest. His speed is super low. This is the thing. I believe that with this passive, you don't need to build him with any speed whatsoever, and he's going to be good. And then he's got crit rate. His crit damage is low. We're missing about 30%, I think, crit damage because we don't have the necklace. We've got a necklace at like 1 roll in crit damage or something. And then he does not need any accuracy because he's going to do all of his stuff anyway. So an easy champ to build. And then for his masteries, I sent him down the defense tree with the counterattack stuff. I think that should be good. And then I sent him down the offense tree to make him hit harder, etc. So let's dive in and let's see how he works. Is he OP? I just recorded a really fun video on Elder Scarg. Stay tuned for that with White Dryad Nia in there as well. This is just the arena page from the last time I was on. I haven't refreshed it, so we're just going to dive in and try him against a bunch of teams and see what happens, guys. So I set up some preset teams, showcasing a variety of stuff. Oh, I actually remembered I need to change the gear on my Arbiter because I put my fastest gear on Margain on the test server. Let me be right back. I'm going to speed up Arbiter. Okay, there we go. So, I mean, Arbiter speed's getting a bit better. We are going to get outsped, guys, you know. Oh, and storage is full. We're going to get outsped. I don't have the fastest Arbiter in the world, so that's going to slow us down, unfortunately. Oh, I should have rolled those gloves up. They could have rolled better. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But yeah, so we might lose some of these speed races. That's just a fact, but we'll see what we can do. So this time we're up against Hegemon. Okay, that's going to be a problem. So I've set up a few different teams. Let's try this go second variant. I'm curious to see how this is going to work. So we got Elva coming in. She's going to be cleansing us, giving us block debuffs, increased speed. She has the revive, which should help pick up Ailil back up. We've got Mithrala then as well. I'm going to leave her. She can give us the increased defense. We got lots of buffs here. And then we get shield continuous heals. We got lots of buffs for ourselves to hopefully speed us up. Let's see what we can do. Ailil is going to be protected from single target by Ultimate Death Knight. We've got lots of protection here. We got the Reviver. Let's see how this go second team works against this team. Also, somewhat a go secondy type team in a sort of weird Hegemon type way. So let's go. We'll leave it on. Actually, we won't leave it on. Let's manual this first one so we can actually see his moves in action. Okay, so here we go. I am going to put up the increased defense, increased speed. You can see his turn meter starting to shoot up right now. I'm going to give him increase attack as well, and here he goes. He gets a turn. So we have options here, right? We could attempt to just steal a buff, steal all the buffs off somebody. We could attempt to one-shot somebody, ignoring strengthen, increase defense, ally protection. So we could, and Stone Skin, we could, for example, hit Ultimate Death Knight, ignore that Stone Skin and increase defense, and just try smack him down. Or we could also attempt to strip off the decreased defense and just smack them all hard. Let's see what he does on full auto. Let's see what he does. He's going to go with the AoE. Pretty good smack right there, AoE. He got hit hard. He's gone in. Oh, I guess because he already has those buffs, he can't steal the buffs. Okay, that's a bit funny. He didn't steal the buffs that time. Interesting. Let's see what he's going to do round 2. He's coming around to it, leaving it full auto. And look at that. So that was a bit wonky right there. The Chill Wind of Autumn, or sorry, the single target attack went in. It got redirected to Ultimate Death Knight, but he did not make a dent. So what happened? Oh, I guess actually his single target... No, the counterattack would have hit Magnar. I don't think that gets redirected by Ultimate Death Knight. But why did he do like no damage to Ultimate Death Knight? And this is, I believe, what happens. Is that when it says that his A2 ignores Stone Skin, it ignores the damage reduction of Stone Skin, but it does not ignore the shield of Stone Skin. And likewise, it doesn't ignore shields in general, which means that when he smacks someone with a Stone Skin buff on them, because he doesn't actually hit that hard, you can see again, it went to Ultimate Death Knight, didn't hit that hard. He just struggles to actually kill them. Like, you might break the Stone Skin, but it's pretty unlikely you'll still kill them. And the other problem, of course, is that a slow champion with Stone Skin still on, see that A1 is starting to hit pretty hard now. A slow champion with Stone Skin still on them, you know, they could have reaction accessories, and he's definitely not going to kill them through that. So big hit coming in from Magnar. You can see we're actually quite tanky. He's going in with the AoE. Look at that, big smacking AoE. The AoE definitely does work. It's not the hardest hitting in the game by any means, but it has those nice debuff potential. It does hit reasonably hard. He's got really good base stats. So yeah, it's definitely not crazy. But it's not bad. Look, there we go. He stole the buffs, which I think is pretty cool. Now he's just going to start hitting her harder. He's probably going to go in with his A2 now. No, he's doing the A1 again. Okay, interesting. We do have the revive going out. Right, we've got the Hex on her. That is useful. But yeah, so we can see they obviously have a pretty tanky team. We're certainly not blowing them up. He's not nuking through them like with any particularly massive speed. There he goes. He hits pretty hard that time. 80k on the Sifi this time. That's respectable. And he should finish off Ultimate Death Knight. One thing to note, he's definitely getting lots of turns with the buffs that we're giving. Like, he does get through his turns nice and quick. He doesn't feel slow. There you go. You see, he actually got Stone Skin. So it did work. He did all the damage. He did fine, but he's not killing them particularly quickly. We could try against this team. We're going to lose. Let's try it. Let's try it. So if we go in and with this team, yeah, let's try like this. So we're going to try with this team where we're going to try lock out their passive skills here. Let's see if it works. So they're going to get these buffs on. Oh, we just got outsped by... Okay, so never mind. We just got outsped and locked out by Venus, so that's not going to work. Never mind. Feels bad, man. Attack aura. Oh, I'm missing. Okay, hang on. We're missing gear on one champion. Let me go fix that as well. Okay, we're back. I've put gear on Goffred. I think he's booked. I probably should check. Is he booked? Is he booked on the test server? Hopefully. Yes, he is. Okay, we're good. We're good. I think we've got gear on everyone. Let's just quick check here. Yeah, okay, we got good speeds. We're good. Let's go in here. So against a speed team, we might get outsped, actually. I expect we will. No, okay. This team's actually, the enemy team's fairly slow. So we boost up here. Let's actually strip off their buffs with Romantu. Stun them here with Goffred. And yeah, let's see how our boy's going to do. Chill Wind of Autumn. Bam. I mean, against a speed team like this, that we outspeed, he cuts through it. Really no problem. Right, let's try this team. Yeah, we could try like this. Let's try like this. Let's see what happens with our own speed team here. Will it work or not? So they get some buffs on. They do have one set of Stone Skin. Here we go. So let's try to strip those off. We strip most of them. Let's try to stun. Okay, we stunned the important guys. That's good. We can attempt to strip off that Stone Skin. We knocked it down one turn. So here we go. Let's actually, shall we test this out? I think the smart thing to do here would be to one-shot Warlord, but I just want to showcase this. Let's see what happens when we attempt to ignore the Stone Skin here on Nekret. Let's put it to 1 speed. Here we go. Ignore Stone Skin on Nekret. Bam, look at that. Reaction procced. That's a big problem. And look, it does not ignore the Stone Skin shield. I don't know if it's supposed to ignore the Stone Skin shield and something's just gone wrong or what. Let's debuff her, attempt to fear him so he might miss his turn. I'll give us increased defense, which is going to speed us up a bit as well. Oh, of course, he was locked out of his moves. Derp, I'm an idiot. He was locked out of his moves. So that's speed boost up here. So yeah, it's definitely not ideal, right? I'd say it's definitely not ideal. I'm not super sold on it because of that reason. Let's come in here. Let's push him back, lock him out a little bit. Let's attempt to... Again, just try to lock him down, see what happens. Increase attack back on, more turn meter boost. Go in with the AoE this time. So the nice thing about this, he should put out some block buffs, and he should also change this strengthen into a weaken. It did happen. It did happen. But the damage didn't really come through. That was a little bit weird. So yeah, this champion is he's a bit funky. To be completely honest, he's a bit funky. Like, the damage isn't that high. Like, I don't know how we didn't quite... You know, actually, I know why we didn't kill... Look at that was a big hit that time. I know why we didn't kill Kandrafon. It's because, although we ignored the ally protection, it still procced the shield, I'm pretty sure. And because he doesn't ignore shield, that is another issue. So, going up against Nekret, right? Bear that in mind. This is another... It's a pro and it's a con, right? Nekret, he puts block debuffs, ally protection, strengthen. So I guess the block debuffs, if block debuffs is on, you can't change the strengthen into a weaken. You will remove the strengthen. You'll ignore the ally protection, so that's good. But because he has ally protection, he gives them a huge shield, and you do not ignore the shield, right? You will still hit the shield. So it still becomes really difficult to actually one-shot them because he doesn't hit that hard with the A1. It becomes difficult still to one-shot them, right? We're probably going to be outsped by these guys. Let's give it a go. Let's assume that we're going to be outsped. Let's try our tanky team. Let's see if it works, or do we just get ripped apart? They have multiple buff strips, so I'm not super confident. Let's see what happens. So here we go. We'll leave it on full auto. Okay, so we're pretty much stripped. Will Mithrala be smart enough? Okay, so she's buffed us up. That's pretty good. We get smacked right there, which is definitely scary. They are so much faster than us. They are running circles around us, and we've been locked out of our skills by Warlord. He goes in, though, and look at that. That's actually quite nice. He just stole all the buffs off there. So even locked out by Warlord, that's actually kind of nifty. That's kind of useful. Again, locked out again. He has increased attack now, though, which is... Oh, but it just got removed. Just got stolen. And he's been put to sleep. You hate to see it, boys. You hate to see it. At least Ultimate Death Knight got woken up. The thing I'm worried about here is that they're probably so fast that we're just never go... Yeah, they're just going to probably rotate between Kymar and Warlord so quickly that we're never going to actually get a turn. And we don't have enough resistance, because I don't have a resistance banner to get Elva properly working. It's what I'm worried about. He's going in again, so this time he doesn't strip the buffs, but his A1 starts to hit pretty hard. Like, he took Solus down to half HP, even with increased defense on. Like, that is, in my mind, pretty respectable. That's pretty respectable right there. We've been locked out again. Of course we have been. The A1. This is going to be a long fight. I don't think you guys even want to watch this fight. This is just, we're bashing our heads against the wall here. Yeah, we're bashing our heads against the wall. Let's see. He might get a hit off. I don't know. How did he even get a Veil right there? I'm confused how he got a Veil. Oh, of course. She puts out Veil with her passive. Let me pause it. I'll be back. I'll let this run for a couple of minutes, but I'm not sure we're going to get anywhere. So I'll be right back. Let's see. He's starting to hit Solus hard, but I don't know. I'll be right back. Okay, great. So he couldn't kill us. I think his Solus didn't have any gear on. So I realized that. I was like, he's not doing any damage. He got out damaged by Kymar. So not a great test, but you can see in this case, okay, you know, this cold brew, he's got much better gear than us. We're just, there are circles being run around us, but we couldn't quite manage it. Let's try this team right here. This team has a lot of defenses. I'm not confident that at all that we can cut through that Mithrala. Let's try the tanky team against this one as well. I don't see a point in trying to debuff them, so I think we're just going to get outrun by Mithrala. So let's try it out here. Okay, here we go. My speed team, we would be faster. This should be an interesting test, though. So that's pretty cool. Like, right there, he got smacked by a Candrafon, but he didn't die. He comes in with the AoE. It did okay damage. But I'm just kind of interested to see how well he sort of survives here. We've got obviously a really good team around him to defend him. He's gone in. He's stealing a lot of buffs. Interesting thing is he doesn't seem to care about the A2. He does like doing his A1, which is certainly interesting. Oh, wow. That was big damage right there. He just ripped through Ultimate Death Knight. That's pretty brutal, actually. Here we go. She should revive. Yeah, so Ultimate Death Knight is back up. He's gone in with his big hit, and he did about 60k. So with the gear we have, he did 60k to an Ursula. It's a good hit. Oh, that's a scary hit right there. I'm very scared for our reviver at this point. And if she dies, we are in trouble. So this is very scary. Let's see what we can do. We've got increased attack back on. Ultimate Death Knight goes down. That was was that a counterattack? I think it was. That was a really nice AoE right there. That was very good. They're getting beaten up. We've got a chance. We've got Revive the Ultimate Death Knight again. That's good. I think he's going to go in. No, he's done the A1 again as well. I'm not sure why is he not doing his A2? It's very strange. Ultimate Death Knight dies again. He's just doing a great job with his passive. Just keeps getting revived. He gets knocked down. He gets up again. As the song once said. He's gone in again. A1 again. I wonder what's going on there. He gets smacked by Candy, and seeing as he stole the buffs off Candy, he actually survives the hit. Now, he does go down at this point. So at this point, it is getting a little scary, for sure. Oh, this could be scary. Oh, yeah, that's pretty bad. He's going to get an extra turn. Oh, no. He's going to take us down. So, unfortunate. Right, unfortunate. Let's switch that up. Let's see, how would that have gone differently if we... I mean, these are +3 Awakened champions. Why is he not doing his A2? How strange. Let's set him up like this. It's priority 1, the A3. I think that's a good move. Let's actually have him do this. Let's get the stone skin up and all of that. I don't know. He just seems to want to A1 as much as possible. He doesn't want to do the A2. Maybe it's like he only does the A2 if he thinks he can get a kill. I'm really not sure. Right there as well. She should definitely have opened with her A2. That's unfortunate. Though she has put out block buffs, which is useful. Stone Skin absorbing that. We're going to get the... That's actually quite good, getting that move out right there. Getting the burn. We've got a Brimstone on us as well. Now we've increased attack. Okay. He doesn't get petrified. Let's see right now. What is he going to do? Okay. I actually want to try this. So she has ally protection. Let's see how hard we can hit her. We will ignore the strengthen. We'll ignore ally protection. She doesn't have strengthen. We'll ignore ally protection, but the Ursuga passive is still going to work. Let's see how hard we hit. Okay, that was a really big hit. We just hit 70k to Duchess. He finished her off. That's pretty good. Yeah, he finished her off. Interesting stuff, huh? Interesting stuff. He's stolen the buffs right there. Yeah, he's a funky champ. I mean, the thing that impresses me most is how he's actually surviving in these go second teams, right? Because he gets so much turn meter from this passive, and because he actually gets so much tankiness from his passive as well. And I guess actually increase attack probably makes him way tankier too, right? Yeah, it probably does make him way tankier now I think about it. Let's try against this team. Because increased attack, it ups his attack stat, and he should therefore get a whole bunch more HP and Let's see. Oh, look at that. You see his health bar just increase? Let's see. When he gets increased attack, will his health bar grow larger? It might be difficult to see. We'll try. I mean, he's taking that hit, though. He's going in. He smacks them. Okay, hang on. 1 time speed. So this is his health bar right now. Yeah, look at that. It just got bigger. So he totally does get tankier from increased attack. The block buffs is coming in pretty clutch here as well. Like, she's definitely dead. He's stolen all their buffs. Bam, 129,000. And he's given himself Stone Skin and the full heal. Okay. Okay. I'm coming around to him. What do you guys think? I'm looking at this guy, like, it is interesting. He clearly, his damage is tuned to be quite low. There's no question about that, which is really intriguing. His damage is tuned to be pretty low, but his toolkit is so strong that I feel like he does kind of get away with it. You know, he kind of gets away with it. I'm not sure if he's going to be good for like high-end play, but for most players, I'm actually pretty impressed with him. I have to say, I've been pretty impressed. He's Void Affinity as well, so no weak hits. The thing I really like about him, I've been so impressed with how well he's been doing in these go second teams, especially considering, I mean, I guess we're picking and choosing our fights, right? But considering that he doesn't have reaction gear on right now, like to protect him, he doesn't have good accessories, I actually think he's performing pretty well. So there you go, guys. Ailil, I went into this expecting him to be really bad, because of his damage numbers are just low. But I walked away actually being pretty impressed. I actually think he's pretty solid. Yeah, I'd be definitely happy to get this guy. I would. I think he's pretty solid. Yeah, the AoE hit is good. The single target hit, like, it hits reasonably well. It does have problems. Like, it does, when it says, again, beware, guys, when it says it ignores Stone Skin, it ignores the damage reduction, but it does not ignore the shield. So ignoring Stone Skin actually it's a bait, right? This is pure bait. It's pure bait because he just doesn't hit hard enough to actually break the Stone Skin. I mean, he can. I guess if they didn't have reaction, he would. He breaks Stone Skin. It's not super useful though, is it? So yeah, like between reaction and the Stone Skin shield and then regular shields, bolster set shields, he's not going to hit through that stuff. So that's definitely a problem. It's such bait. It's such bait. I wish they would change it so we ignore the Stone Skin shield, because I think it's really silly that he doesn't. But I mean, still, ignoring strengthen and ally protection, increased defense is still useful. Like, yeah, the utility, he's got so much utility. It's just his damage isn't the best, but I think it's good enough for most people. So I think he's actually quite a good champion. I have to say, I thought he's quite solid. Though this is such bait. Yeah, there you go. Now, the only thing, guys, the final thing to consider is Polymorph. I think this is his biggest problem. Okay? Whenever an enemy places debuffs on this champion or removes or steals buffs from them, you could potentially have up 10% pretty easily to get a 10% chance to place a sheep. That can go all the way up to 20%. So looking towards the future, I think a lot of pretty much all arena defenses are going to be running multiple polymorphs, right? Arena defense, you think about Mortu Macabre, it's all about nasty RNG that can completely mess you up, right? You're not looking to win 100%, but you're looking to put in those like Mortu Macabres, things like Polymorph that just, they're going to proc semi-frequently, and when they proc, they're basically going to win you the fight. Polymorph, I think, is clutch, and this is the problem. Whenever you place a debuff or steal, so every time he A1s someone, the first time he A1s, he tries to steal, he can be polymorphed, okay? Whenever he does his A3, he's going to attempt to put block buffs. That's one chance for polymorph. He's going to try to strip, increase defense, and strengthen. That's 2 chances for polymorph. Place, decrease defense, and weaken. That's 2 more chances for polymorph. This champion, he might look kind of cool. I'm kind of mixed feelings about how he looks, but I think the reality is that in a few months' time, as more people get awakened, most of the time this champion is going to look like a sheep, is what's going to happen. Most of the time he's going to be a fancy-looking sheep in the arena. And it can't be blocked or resisted. So that's going to be a big issue, a really big issue. Whereas like in a defensive team, like Candrafon, for example, Candrafon, he just does damage and he does ridiculous damage. He buffs himself, but he doesn't do any debuff. So like a Candrafon is going to stay as a consistent monster for arena defense. But Ailil is going to struggle. And I would, by the way, in terms of Blessing, I'd probably be giving him Lightning Cage. So it's going to help him do a bit more damage, but it's also going to protect his buffs. He's going to get a lot of buffs, right? Lots of buffs. So it's going to protect those buffs from being stolen, which I think is quite useful. Yeah, because he's going to be stealing buffs and stuff. So I think it's worthwhile. But yeah, so that's another consideration. So yeah, look, Ailil, I think he's a great champ. I actually think he's really good. I think for 99% of players, this guy's going to be an absolute monster in your arena team. I just think that for like end game players, there's that big question mark of will he have any use at all end game. Polymorph is going to really ruin him end game. That's the biggest problem for end game. He's just going to be polymorph constantly. And then the other problem is he doesn't hit that hard. He's really going to struggle to kill champions that Necret protects because yes, he ignores the strength and ally protection, but he doesn't ignore the shield. There's the bait with the stone skin. So yeah, very mixed feelings, but he impressed me more than I thought he would. Very mixed feelings, but better than I thought he would be. Ailil, there you go. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.